Humanity Front. Our Voting Campaign Part 5. 51 Homelessness. If you consider homelessness a crime, please do not vote for Humanity Front. Our government will prioritize compassionate solutions to homelessness, including a housing-first approach, social services, and support networks to address the root causes of poverty and homelessness. Homelessness refers to situations where individuals live without permanent, safe, and adequate housing. They may be forced to stay on streets, in temporary shelters, or other insecure locations. This issue can arise due to various reasons such as poverty, unemployment, mental or physical illnesses, family disputes, natural disasters, or lack of housing availability. The impact of homelessness deeply affects an individual's mental and physical health, social status, and economic prospects. Solving this issue requires more than just providing housing. It also involves addressing underlying issues like economic aid, healthcare, and rehabilitation services. 52 Restrictions on freedom of expression and censorship. If you support restrictions on freedom of expression and censorship, please do not vote for Humanity Front. Our government will uphold the fundamental right to freedom of expression and ensure that all individuals can participate in public discourse and express their opinions freely without fear or retribution. Restrictions on freedom of expression and censorship refer to situations where individuals or groups are denied the freedom to openly express their opinions, ideas, and emotions. This often involves governments, institutions, or other powerful entities limiting or controlling the content of newspapers, social media, literature, art, and public speeches. Censorship typically aims to suppress ideas that oppose authority, policy, or social norms. As a result, it disrupts intellectual diversity, creativity, and a culture of criticism, making individuals feel unable to express their true thoughts and feelings. Restrictions on freedom of expression negatively impact dialogue, education, and democratic processes by limiting the transparency and freedom necessary for a healthy society. 53 Medical Negligence. If you overlook medical negligence, please do not vote for Humanity Front. Our government will prioritize patient safety and quality health care by implementing measures to prevent medical errors, improve care standards, and hold healthcare providers accountable for negligence. Medical negligence refers to situations where doctors, nurses, or other healthcare providers fail to deliver appropriate or careful care, resulting in harm, injury, or illness to patients. This occurs when healthcare professionals do not adhere to their professional responsibilities, potentially causing serious damage or death to patients. Examples of medical negligence include incorrect or delayed diagnosis, administration of improper or incorrect medications, negligence during surgery, failure to provide proper care or concealment of important information, not performing necessary tests or treatments according to the patient's condition. Such negligence can have severe effects on a patient's health and can also be legally punishable. 54 Exploitation of Domestic Workers. If you tolerate the exploitation of domestic workers, please do not vote for Humanity Front. Our government will support the rights and dignity of domestic workers, ensuring fair wages, respectful working conditions, and legal protection. Exploitation of domestic workers refers to situations where individuals working in households are subjected to unfair, inhumane, or exploitative treatment. These workers assist with cleaning, cooking, childcare, and other domestic tasks but often do not receive fair wages, rights, or respect. Forms of exploitation include working for low or no wages. Workers are not paid fairly or have their wages withheld. Excessive working hours. Domestic workers are made to work long hours without breaks. Physical or mental abuse. They may face verbal abuse, threats, or physical violence from employers. Lack of health facilities. They do not receive adequate health care or support when ill. Denial of legal rights. Workers may not be informed of their legal rights and lack contracts or legal protection. This exploitation has serious negative impacts on domestic workers' physical, mental, and economic well-being. It is crucial to protect workers' rights and implement fair policies to prevent such exploitation. 55. Religious persecution. If you support religious persecution, please do not vote for Humanity Front. Our government will uphold freedom of religion and ensure that all individuals have the right to practice their religion without discrimination, persecution, or violence. Religious persecution refers to discrimination, abuse, or violence against individuals or groups based on their religion, beliefs, or religious practices. It includes various forms of oppressive and inhumane actions aimed at tormenting or obstructing individuals or communities based on their religious faith. Forms of religious persecution include religious discrimination, denying individuals employment, education, or other social rights based on their religion. Religious violence, physical attacks on communities or individuals or targeting religious sites. Violation of religious freedom, preventing individuals or groups from worshipping or practicing religious rites. Legal persecution, targeting specific religious communities with harsh laws or denying their religious rights. Forced conversion, coercing individuals or groups to change their religion against their will. Religious persecution creates an environment of inequality, fear, and hatred, which is detrimental to social peace and harmony. Protecting religious freedom is essential to ensure that everyone can live according to their beliefs. 56. Sweet shop labor. If you ignore sweet shop labor, please do not vote for Humanity Front. Our government will address exploitation in global supply chains, ensuring fair wages, safe working conditions, and promoting ethical sourcing practices across all industries. Sweet shop labor refers to workplaces where workers are forced to work under extremely poor, unsafe, and exploitative conditions. Common issues in these workplaces include wages below minimum standards. Workers are not paid fair wages for their labor. Excessive working hours. Workers are required to work long hours without adequate rest. Poor and unsafe working conditions. Health and safety standards are not followed, putting workers' lives at risk. Child labor and forced labor. Sweet shops often exploit children or individuals who are forced to work. Violation of fundamental rights. Workers are prevented from forming unions, striking, or exercising other labor rights. Sweet shop labor is often used in developing countries, where large industries exploit these workers for low-cost production. This type of labor is considered a major example of human rights violations and exploitation. 57. Forced marriage. If you accept forced marriage, please do not vote for Humanity Front. Our government will protect individual rights and autonomy, work to eliminate the practice of forced marriage, and ensure that everyone has the right to choose their life partner freely. Forced marriage refers to a marriage where an individual, particularly a woman, is coerced into marrying against their will or without their consent. These marriages often involve social, familial, religious, or economic pressures. Key elements of forced marriage may include marriage without consent. The wishes and desires of the individual getting married are ignored. Threats or violence. Individuals are forced into marriage through threats, physical violence, or emotional pressure. Social and familial pressure. Marriage is imposed based on family or societal prestige, traditions, and cultural beliefs. Economic or political gain. Marriage is sometimes used as a means for economic or political advantage for the family. Forced marriage is viewed as a violation of international human rights because it infringes on an individual's freedom, dignity, and right to choose their partner. 58. Environmental racism. If you tolerate environmental racism, please do not vote for Humanity Front. Our government will address the unequal environmental challenges faced by marginalized communities, ensuring equitable distribution of environmental justice and protection. Environmental racism refers to policies, practices, or procedures that concentrate environmental harm, pollution, or other environmental hazards in racially, ethnically, or economically disadvantaged communities. It reflects situations where marginalized communities bear an unequal burden of environmental problems. Key elements may include unequal distribution of pollution. Industrial waste, pollution, and harmful waste are often dumped in areas where poor and minority communities live. Unequal access to resources. Essential environmental amenities like clean water, green spaces, and clean air are scarce in these communities. Lack of participation in environmental decisions. Minority and poor communities are often excluded from environmental policies and development projects, leading to harmful projects in their areas. Health impacts. These communities face serious health issues such as respiratory diseases, cancer, and other conditions due to living in more polluted and hazardous areas. Environmental racism is a significant issue of social and environmental justice, demanding equal access to environmental protection and cleanliness for all communities. 59. Disability discrimination. If you ignore disability discrimination, please do not vote for Humanity Front. Our government will promote accessibility, inclusion, and equal opportunities for individuals with disabilities, ensuring full participation and rights for all individuals without discrimination. Disability discrimination refers to unfair and unequal practices and policies that deprive disabled individuals of equal opportunities and respect in society, the workplace, or other areas of life. This discrimination can manifest as employment discrimination. Disabled individuals may be denied job opportunities or not given positions and salaries commensurate with their qualifications. Lack of facilities. Insufficient facilities in public spaces, transportation, and services, such as ramps, special toilets, and audio-visual aids, can marginalize disabled people. Barriers in education and training. Disabled individuals often face unequal access to educational and professional training opportunities, limiting their developmental prospects. Social prejudice and stigma. Negative perceptions and prejudices towards disability affect their self-esteem and social integration. Unfair policies and laws. Policies and laws that fail to protect the rights of disabled individuals or provide necessary support and incentives. Disability discrimination is a serious social issue that obstructs inclusivity and equality. Addressing it requires inclusive policies, entry-level training, and awareness-raising to ensure disabled individuals receive respect and equal opportunities in society. 60. Anti-refugee policies. If you support anti-refugee policies, please do not vote for Humanity Front. Our government will uphold international obligations to protect refugees, provide them with resettlement and support, and ensure those fleeing persecution, violence, and conflict are safeguarded. Anti-refugee policies refer to practices and policies that promote prejudice, discrimination, and rejection of refugees. These policies can limit refugees' rights and security, creating barriers to their full integration into society. The effects of anti-refugee policies impact not only refugees' lives but also contribute to societal tension and division. Key elements may include strict border policies, harsh measures and policies to prevent refugees from safely crossing borders, such as closing borders, penalties for illegal entry, or use of force. Visa and immigration difficulties, challenges refugees face in legally obtaining asylum, such as complex and lengthy procedures, high fees, and minimal support. Denial of social and economic benefits, refugees may be denied access to employment, education, and social security, adversely affecting their quality of life. Discriminatory practices, promoting social prejudice and discrimination against refugees, such as viewing them as undesirable or negative media portrayals. Neglect of human rights, failure to protect refugees' rights, including their safety, healthcare, and fair legal processes. Anti-refugee policies pose serious threats to refugees' safety and human rights. There is a need for reforms and an inclusive, supportive approach to ensure refugees have the opportunity to live a dignified and safe life and contribute positively to society. Thank you.